Data is power. The Arab Youth Survey calls upon us as leaders and youth alike to exercise our moral imagination. That is, the courage to see reality as it is and the audacity to hope and work for a better tomorrow. The most important finding was the finding on hope, I believe. That hope revealed begins with loss. In 2020, in the results, 50% of Arab youth consider leaving their countries for a better life, and 40% want to leave their country permanently, driven predominantly by economic reasons, by education opportunities, by security. What does this data really mean? It suggests that many Arab youth don't believe their systems work for their lives. It implies that they don't believe that they have a voice. It indicates a loss of hope. And this is precisely why this data can help us all, globally and in this region. The survey data reveals what happens if and when governments and leaders don't listen to youth. And this is why I equally believe the reality of the Arab Youth Survey points to hope, because it gives youth a voice to tell us exactly what they think, who they are, what they want. Youth gave us the raw data, and the answers are in plain sight. So now we can shine a light of hope on both the loss and needs as well as the ideas and dreams of Arab youth and forge a new path forward, letting data lead the way. What does the data mean? First of all, youth tell us that transparent and cooperative leadership is the #1 issue for youth. They want leadership that listens. It is unequivocally clear that Arab youth have a demand for integrity and a hope for positive change in their nations and throughout their lives. They believe that their voice can make a difference. They are ready to migrate to where they can engage with leadership, and they're willing to be part of the solution. This is critical for governments throughout the Arab world to pay attention to. The issues that are affecting youth require systemic attention. In addition to migration, unemployment remains the top issue among Arab youth. Only 50% have confidence in their government to create infrastructure to address their employment needs and concerns. Young Arabs are also migrating away from traditional government and private sector jobs to showing an increased interest in entrepreneurship and non-traditional work. In fact, in the GCC, 55% of youth said that they would like to start their own businesses within the next 5 years. Think of this. A wave of innovation is coming and youth are leading the way. How will governments harness this energy and the talent of youth to drive new economies and social solutions? The innovation and growth opportunities that youth present are phenomenal and prime for governments to begin tackling them. Because the alternatives are unacceptable, the growing gaps in youth education, youth employment, youth positive engagement create ripe conditions for extremist recruits. Nature for all, and after all, abhors vacuum. And as we've seen far too often the past 10 years, hopelessness results when youth are not employed. Apathy results when youth are not seen as assets. Violence results when youth are not valued. Uprisings result when youth are not uplifted. And it's up to all of us, especially governments, to create an ecosystem of positive opportunities, identity, belonging, and purpose for youth. And this is the key to all of our 21st century economy solutions. Our focus must be on bringing in the light of opportunity, not simply trying to conquer the darkness of its absence. And every day in the United Arab Emirates, we work to make that mission a reality, so the voice of every Emirati youth shapes every sector of policy and society. And central to achieving our mission is the philosophy and consistent daily practice of directly engaging with youth. And to keep that simple, engagement is the method of gathering inputs. Engagement is listening. Engagement is data collection, data capture. Engagement is purposeful and inclusive. And engagement is making youth and their input a core part of our operating manual. Engaging and empowering youth is central to the United Arab Emirates Youth Strategy, and we believe this is reflected in the numbers and in the Arab Youth Survey as well. For the 9th year in a row, Arab youth rank the United Arab Emirates as the top nation to emulate, citing safety, security, well-paying work opportunities, and a good place to raise a family. And we are so proud to receive this acknowledgement from youth throughout the region. And we know how much this work invites us to do so much more throughout the MENA nations. I'm so proud to come from a country that doesn't have an archived national youth strategy. Our youth strategy is a living, breathing, evolving model that translates true voice of youth into action. Our model is driven by the inclusion of youth, and the rewards are worth the risks. The Arab Youth Survey is truly a voice for change and must be a map for governments to equip, engage, and empower their youth. The UAE government believes that we exist to help all youth reach their full potential. And the Arab Youth Survey is unmistakable call to work together as Arab nations. And we know it's a tall order worth filling. And we're making our national youth model available to everyone. Information without action is empty. Action without data is careless. And this Arab Youth Survey provides an ideal compass for policymakers throughout the region to address real challenges facing youth that are the core issues of our nations, our region, and the world. And the data is clear. The greater risk is not taking radical risks to empower, engage young people. I invite you all to join the new narrative of hope for youth. As a young person, use your voice. As a leader, listen and act. As an adult, facilitate, mentor, encourage. As an organization, open doors and ignite. Hope through leadership in listening, action, and ultimate growth into a thriving 21st century region. The future is hope, and the future is youth. And if we are wise, empowered youth will reach and lead the way. Thank you very much.